Welcome to a different kind of archery podcast where we're all about the real stories, practical tips and the shared passion for this timeless sport. Join us for insightful conversations with archers, experts and enthusiasts from all walks of life. From hitting the golds to the pursuit of personal growth through archery, we've got it all. So get ready to knock your arrow and take aim at a world of archery knowledge. This is Unstrung Archery. Hello and welcome to this bonus episode of Unstrung Archery with me, Neil Hickman.
Me, Niall Neil, and today we are here to talk about some good news from Neil.
Indeed, but before we start, I'd like to add to our last message of support on our last episode, where we spoke about Evie and Sarah's fundraising efforts, which is going really well so far.
Yeah, that's right. We'd also like to add that Patience Wood of Bevington Archers has been selected to join the team, the Great Britain team, for the European Indoor Championships in Croatia. She'll be shooting compound, joining the team at just 17.
That's an excellent achievement, Patience. Well done. We've added the link to Patience Just Giving page to our link tree, and we're going to drop it in the show notes as well.
So anything that we can do to help you with this, we get into Croatia, whether it be any donations we can spare or anything we can do, sharing posts across social media, get the word out that we're fundraising, would be greatly appreciated to get it to Croatia.
Indeed. Good luck, Patience.
Yeah, good luck, P. And also good luck to Evie and Sarah as well. And looking forward to hearing from all three of them potentially about the stories from the European Indoors.
Indeed, I can't wait for that episode.
It'll be good. That'll be good. So, Neil, your good news, sir. I'll let you break it now.
So I have been obviously dropping hints every now and then on various episodes that there was something big coming up for myself. So for a while now, I have been discussing with Archery GB about joining the Ambassador program. The Ambassador program is something that AGB put together to help people promote archery in the local community. And I was announced as one of the ambassadors in the last edition of the Archery UK magazine.
I've got the Archery UK magazine right here, Neil. I'm going to get... Are you doing how much is it for signing copies of it?
Free for you, pal, free.
Yeah, so congratulations, mate. That's really well. First of all, really well deserved, and yeah, glad to hear you've been successful with it. So, ambassador scheme, just I suppose first of all on a more broad level, because some people might not have come across it before. How does it work in terms of engaging people in the community and bringing them into the sport of archery?
Okay, so basically the Ambassador program is helping empower volunteers across the network of clubs across the UK. Basically, it looks for people who make the archery experience better for those involved. So AGB recruits a team of Archery GB ambassadors who can help promote archery, improve the archery experience to everybody involved, and help clubs develop as well. It's not just for developing the local areas; it's to help clubs obviously bring more people through the doors, get more people into archery as well. So we are also the first line of defence when it comes to feedback for Archery GB to help influence the future direction of the sport as well. We're obviously going to be, I don't know about other people, but myself obviously being a content creator to help create the exposure for archery as well, and obviously bring that story and passion to obviously hopefully inspire other people to come and get involved as well, and not just to participate in archery as well, but to actually volunteer to maybe be the next inlet of ambassadors in the future in a couple of years. This isn't, as far as I'm aware, this isn't the first ambassador program. I was actually inspired by Max Oakley, who was on the previous ambassador program. He was actually one of the young youth ambassadors So he was still quite young, and he was going around to all different schools and demonstrating archery and going over all the different aspects of the bows and stuff like that. We'll get to that a little bit later. But again, it's to obviously educate and innovate, challenge, and inspire people to get involved in archery, and it's a great way of sharing love.
And well, something you mentioned. I just pick up on something you mentioned there about getting archery out there. It's obviously we've got a really cool sport that we're involved in, and the more we can actually show people this is our sport, this is what we do, come and join in and have a go with us, then that can only be a good thing as well. So I suppose my next question would be, what if you now we've talked about the scheme more broadly, what sort of things would you if you got lined up? I know it's early doors, of course, but have you any ideas that you'd want to try and develop?
Yeah. So I thought, well, before the announcement actually happened, I have actually been out in the community doing like local schools and going in, like, as I mentioned, Max used to do, doing like presentations for schools, taking in the soft archery kit and just letting them fling arrows at very, very small targets. Obviously, with the suckers on the end of them. So, just the joy that they were getting from that, it was a great thing to keep going back and doing. And obviously, I've done that a couple of times before. Obviously, announcement went ahead. So I have still been working in the background doing these things anyway. But that was one part is to obviously try and get archery into schools. The other bit, and this is my main focal point, obviously recently I became a scouting leader, and I've been into scouts and seen the local areas. What their conditions are like for archery, and they could be improved quite substantially. So I want to make the scouting experience with archery be something a little bit more than just turning up to the range for 20 minutes, shooting a couple of arrows, and then going off doing the next thing. I know there's people out there that really enjoy archery and scouts. I was one of them. And to be honest with you, had I been able to afford it back when I was younger and I pressed my parents a little bit more for it, I may have been shooting from a lot younger age. Because I did enjoy it when I was in Scouts, and that's where the initial bite of archery came from for me. Had those opportunities been available for me when I was in Scouts, I probably would have pursued them a little bit more. So my main goal right now is to develop with the Scouts in the local area, not just my own Scout group, but the other Scout groups in the area as well, and hopefully inspire a couple of other clubs to maybe put these events on for the Scouts. But they have a badge called the Master at Arms. Now, this can be for, I think, fencing or archery or rifle shooting. So, basically, the criteria for this badge is you have to attend at least a minimum of 6 sessions. You have to show that you understand the safety rules behind archery, and you also have to do an official competition. So my plan is to put together a beginner's course that's tailored more towards scouting. So they still get to experience, obviously, archery. They get to learn how to shoot, and they get a reward from it at the end of it. Not obviously they'll be competent to shoot anyway by the end of it, but they'll also get one of the coveted badges in scouting, which is the Master at Arms. So the plan is to put on a beginner's course. Whilst you're going through that beginner's course, we still obviously teach people where they can improve. We teach them all the safety aspects pretty much as we're going along, and obviously from the first session anyway. So that's two of the criteria already met. The last criteria is obviously to do a competition, an official competition, and for your instructor to provide feedback on where you can improve going forward. So, what this is, the plan for this is going to do is it's going to open up scouting, archery and scouting to not just be those one sessions that you go do when you're on a camp on a weekend away. That, it might take you 12 months, maybe even the whole duration of you being in scouts uh, to actually get this badge, where you could do it in over summer or something like that. So you don't have to keep going to the camps where the equipment might not be up to the standard as it is in a club. obviously they're self-funded. The scouts, they have the fundraising and whatnot, so they get what they can from that. But I don't personally feel that somebody's would reach their full potential in archery on the equipment that scouts mainly have. So not only is this going to be providing something for the scouts, it's going to be giving that education to leaders and the camps to say this is what your equipment standards should be if you want these young people to actually be able to perform in this sport. So that's a bit of feedback in there, and obviously getting that badge out of it is going to be an incredible achievement for the kids. Um, and it's just it's makes it a lot more accessible to a lot more people. And then obviously on top of that, by the time they've gone through all this, done the course and whatnot, they'll probably want to actually join a club, and continue with the archery as well in the local area. So it might not just be obviously our club. They may not be in the area for our club, but come and do the course with us that we've got tailored for the scouts, and then go on to the local areas. Again, it's a great thing to get people through the doors, and I'm hoping to have that set up by April. So, come the start of the new outdoor season, we'll have our first cohort of scouts coming through the door for Wigan and Norwell.
Yeah, and like you say, it would be good for the scout. It's a win-win potentially for both the scouts and also for for local archery clubs as well. So yeah, membership and also provision of coaching as well. So yeah, that sounds really good, mate. And I'm looking forward to seeing the results, and also as and when you need any support, let us know as well, and we'll that you need for it. But yeah, that sounds really good. It's really good work that. And just one other thing that don't know if you're involved in that. That's been around is Red January. So I've come across Red before with running through the running and swimming that I do, but this is the first time I've seen it for archery. So don't know if you're in a position to maybe tell us a bit more about that, mate.
Yes, so I am actually involved in Red January. I'm going to be recording a little short video of taking part in archery. Um, and basically, it's obviously Red Archery is surrounding mental health and the benefits of sports and stuff like that. So, what my current task in that is to explain how archery supports me. And again, why I'd recommend beginners to come into the sport and give it a go and participate in archery as a team. So my goal there is obviously to explain the benefits of archery mentally and physically. Obviously highlighting more on the mental side of things. And I'm a big passionate person for the mental health benefits of archery, as obviously as you are yourself. And obviously, our last episode with Kirsten was a big focus on mental health in archery and sports as a whole. So, yeah, Red January is tailored towards supporting that kind of well-being in sport. And obviously, the ambassadors are getting involved with that and shouting from the hilltops of how the mental health benefits are there for archery as well.
That sounds really good work, mate. And I'm looking forward to seeing your video. And obviously, like you say, I've had really good benefits on the mental health side through archery, and I know it's really good to hear that, mate, as well. And so Neil, like you say before there about the benefit through about the benefits of archery towards mental health as well. How would you, for people who haven't taken up archery yet, the people that are wanting to bring in through 2024, and hopefully beyond as well, how would you say that archery can be beneficial towards people's mental health?
Oh, there's loads of positive impacts that it can have on your mental well-being and your overall well-being, obviously. But specifically mental health, obviously, it helps you with your focus and concentration. Archery, you need a high level of focus and concentration. Even with me, like with my ADHD, when I am focusing, even though it might only be for short bursts, I do still have that high level of focus and concentration. And sometimes I can call on my hyper focus to kind of like promote that a little bit before. Obviously, going through the repetitive steps of aiming and drawing and releasing and stuff like that demands mental discipline, which, helps with stuff like ADHD, to promote that focus as well. It's great for stress. Just being on the line with the social aspect, can drag somebody out of some really dark times. Just having that camaraderie and, being on the line with other people, it has great stress reduction. Um, it gives you a bit more of a mind body connection as well. So, you're aligning everything with your breathing techniques and mental focus and stuff like that. So you kind of become in this heightened awareness state. Um, I know people that have had self esteem and confidence issues that have come into archery and come out the other end of the beginners courses with just a completely different person. Obviously, it's a very mindful kind of sport, even meditative if you want to go that far. I mean,
Yeah.
I personally use archery as a way of meditating. Um, there's
Yeah.
plenty of being able to set goals for yourself and improving yourself that way, which again has umpteen mental health benefits. Especially when you smash those goals, you feel really good about
And
yourself. You get that release of dopamine and
and
and whatnot. Um, and yeah, it's just obviously it's a very stimulating sport to be involved
and
in.
yeah, it's good for short goals as well.
Yeah, exactly. And the most important one that I feel is the outdoor connection as well. Not so much this
Yeah,
time of year,
green.
obviously, when we're cramped up indoors. However, green space and
Yeah,
being outdoors. I mean, I started back up archery after COVID. Obviously, I did it in skates when I was younger, but it took a good 20 years for me to get back into it. And the reason for that is I needed to get outdoors.
yeah.
And that continues I mean, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that I'm shooting at a smaller face all of indoor season, but as soon as I go back outdoors again, I seem to be the best archer in the world. I can hit the center so much easier during outdoor season than I can indoor.
There is a lot of research ongoing about the role of green space and its importance. Because I remember for work, I had to review I had to review a paper that was on the importance of green space in urban environments, and how it was becoming more prevalent during the pandemic as well. Because we were restricted, it's yeah, it was what we could where we could go and things. That it is actually more important to have access to green space.
Yeah, and local councils recognise this as well. That's why when there's like the housing developments, there's a pot of money specifically that developers have to pay into to be able to build,
Yeah.
which that funding then goes back to projects to get to green space projects and stuff like that. So again, even the local councils realise how important that outdoor connection is with people and their mental health and physical health as well.
Oh, yeah, definite. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, what I suppose, obviously, ambassadors, you say about content creation, the video and things, that's going to be a really good way for promoting um, archery going forwards. Um, so, what do you think? Obviously, for you and me, we're quite active on social media, whether it's through posting our own individual shoot reviews, things like that, or work that we do through promoting NBA and Wigan and Oral on social media, and also obviously the podcast here where we're either talking about to people about different types of archery or telling people these are the episodes that we've got coming up, providing them an opportunity to listen to new areas of archery. But do you think there's anything that, as a community, the archery community quite generally, we can all do more of to promote the sport in 2024?
Yeah, I mean, it's it's Olympic year. It's really strange to say that, but It is. It's the Olympic year, so archery is going to be in the forefront of a lot of media. And obviously, we need to get behind Team GB and push the support for them. But we're going to see, especially with Start Archery Week as well, we're going to see some quite big intake. I feel, especially when people have seen it on the TV and have been watching the archery, we tend to see an influx of people wanting to do the sport at that point anyway. So clubs really need to focus down on promoting their club in the local areas and to that target audience. The people that are going to be watching the Olympics, and it'll it'll naturally flow in anyway off the back of it. But if you're that one club that becomes more responsive to potential leads coming in that way, you're gonna benefit more from that being on top of your game. People that are in the local area, it doesn't have to just be your club secretary and your chairman and people that are on the committee that promote. You can actually just mention, oh, we had a great night at archery the night. We did this, we did that. Even just as a club member, that goes so far. Just talking about archery on your social media doesn't have to be from a club page because you'll get people like, oh, where did you do that? And then the word of mouth starts to snowball then, and you get all these people coming into the club. The main point is you have to capitalize on that quickly. There's
Yeah,
obviously in our areas at least, there are a lot of clubs that are quite close together, and which is great because it gives more opportunity to shooting out there. I'm not one per I would not turn away somebody from coming joining our club. However, if I felt like that they were travelling way too far to come to our club, I would quite happily suggest going to another club that's more local to them that I know and I trust that club that would look after that person. So again, it is all about getting people into archery. It doesn't matter where they are. If they can pick up a bow, come to your club and shoot some arrows and have a bit of fun and just benefit from the mental health side of things, the social aspect, the physical gains from it as well, we can't lose with this sport. There's no one person that wouldn't be able to come to your club and say, right, okay, I want to do archery. The answer should always be yes to that question.
yeah, we can get him in, and get him enjoying the shooting. And fun, what you were saying about Olympic year and getting large sign up. I remember after 2012 Olympics, but we also had in 2012 we had first Hunger Games film coming out, and we had Brave with Merida
Yeah.
as well. So we had
Yes.
triple header there as well. Also, if you get chance to watch that the flight of Merida's arrows, pretty spot on as well. But I remember having triple header of London 2012, Hunger Games and Brave, and my archery club at the time, Johnny Gaunt, we shot up in membership, and also I was working for local council teaching, and I had about 3 sessions at the time of 12 people. It was going from half full to maxed out every time, so much so that we had to put on extra capacity for people. So it's one where if you're visible and you're seen, then yeah, it's really good for us to. It can be really good for us this year for as a sport, and yeah, looking forward to seeing what's coming from it as well. And now one thing that I've seen a bit of in Lancashire. Obviously, I'm a Cumbrian coming in here, so I'm looking. So I'm a bit out of the loop with it. But Project Remea, am I saying that right?
Yes, Project Romeo. So
Project
this
Remea.
was basically it was initially launched in 2018 at Eden's Girls' School in Coventry, um, and Nine Styles Academy and Small Health Leadership Academy in Birmingham, and it's grown quite substantially since then. So Avonstead actually set up the local Project Romeo, which is a sports aid funded initiative. So basically, It focuses on opening doors to ethnically diverse communities, so empowering Muslim communities to learn and grow through the sport of archery. So Rumeya is the Arabic word for archery. Um, so it was developed by Archery GB with Sports Aid, funded from Sports Aid to target the Muslim communities. And what we did at was over in Preston, and we basically myself and several coaches from PNS went up and did a have a go session with I think it was about 180
Wow.
Muslims from the local Muslim schools and stuff like that. So it was an absolutely fantastic day. And it really rewarding as well. It got to the point where there was only a certain number of people that had actually signed up to come and do it, but they were all having that much fun that all the other family members came over and they were swapping and changing arm guards. It got a bit
Oh,
hectic after a while, but they absolutely loved
oh,
it.
brilliant.
And even though it kind of went a bit crazy after a certain point, the coaches did great. We managed to obviously manage the situation brilliantly, and got so many more people interested in archery that wouldn't have had that the initial experience with it because they'd just been stood there watching basically. So yeah, it was an absolutely fantastic the project that we were involved in and the initial stages of the program.
Oh, that sounds brilliant. That and so is that something that's going to continue longer term, or is that something that's potentially not, or are we running to the end of funding time scale for it at this point?
I'm not 100% sure. I do still think that what Project Romeo set up initially in Preston and the local areas, and obviously the other areas, that what they did was they got them the equipment that they need, those community centres and whatnot needed to be able to continue actually providing archery for that community.
Oh,
So yeah,
brilliant.
whilst the actual we might not necessarily be involved, or myself not be involved in it at the moment, that doesn't mean that there wouldn't be another session that gets put on in the future. However, at that particular venue in Preston where we were, they've got all the equipment that they need, and the
Oh,
centre were trained to and what to do with them, and basically to be able to continue providing archery for the Muslim community in the
oh,
area.
well, that's brilliant. That and because I know had I've had little bits of involvement with Muslim community in down Berryway for a couple of have a go sessions that we tried to set up, and I know it can be quite archery is quite an important part of Islam, by my understanding. Anyway, I stand to be corrected if necessary as well. But it's yeah, if we can actually get more people from different backgrounds into the sport, that's only going to be a good thing for the sport in general as well.
Yeah, archery is a ridiculously inclusive sport. There is no sport that I'm aware of that is more inclusive than archery. Like I said, anybody can pick up a bow. There's, as I said, there's people that think that they might not be able to do archery, but 9 times out of 10 you can. You know, there's people out there that are physically disabled to the point where you'd think that they'd not be able to do it. There's people without arms that can still shoot and shoot at Olympic level or
Yeah,
Paralympic level,
because
and are some of the best archers in the world.
Imdong,
Not a single person would be able to not have a go at archery.
it's like in when I'm doing sessions, people will say, "Oh, my sight isn't too good." So they might have their own challenges, but I say, "Oh, tell that to Im Dong Hyun." I hope saying his name right. The Korean lad who's basically very visually impaired, and 2012 Olympics goes and it's a 700 on a feet to on a 720 in qualifying for the Olympics and just smashes it
Exactly.
out the park. And it's yeah, that lad can go and that was against all the people who had sort of without any visual impairments as well. You can just go and smash a score like that as well. So it's one where you can have
Exactly. There's not many sports at all that you can share a session with somebody who's able-bodied and disabled, or whatever, wherever they come from, whatever the background, whatever their ability. There is
If
no other sport really that you can say you can share the same session with
yeah, and you
that
can.
diverse range of people.
'Cause there's always ways to make it work as well. 'Cause we've worked at the shop, we've worked at Northern Archery, we've worked with visually impaired, hearing impaired people as well. So it's one where
Exactly.
sessions are able to be adapted as well. Quite, yeah, we can, and it's a sport for all. So hopefully we can capitalize on that.
Yeah,
Hopefully we can capitalize on that through 2024 and make the most of the Olympics and get people coming in to join us.
exactly. And I'm again, and yourself is another example of people that might not be perceived as something that's not able-bodied. Obviously, with
Yeah,
myself, with my ADHD, with my hearing loss, I wouldn't be able to rock up to most sports and go, oh, let's have a go. I might be
yeah.
able to have a go, but I wouldn't get very far in it.
Oh,
Whereas archery, I can.
yeah, and likewise being dyspraxic as well. It's one where whereas now the only limiting factor to my ability is the fact that I'm content at, I'm content with the level of shooting that I do. Right, and first day back in the office at time of recording after Christmas. But yeah, it's yeah,
Yeah,
the only thing that sort of it's one where you just you're everyone's just treated as normal people, and
exactly.
we're all just people on the line, which is what I like about it.
Exactly.
Unless it's you and me shooting together, in which case we'll be ripping each other or something.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Comes
also
with the
what?
territory, that though.
Oh, definitely. You said about shit about if you'd started earlier with scouts and things. You realise that it'd just been you and me giving each other abuse for about another 10, 15 years as well.
Yes, very likely.
As it should be with us too. And just one other thing, actually, thinking back to ambassador program and things, it's one where I'm presuming that we want to try and be the best role models that we can for newer archers coming through, or for archers and also new volunteers and aspiring archers. What advice would you give to people who are wanting to maybe take a step? People in clubs who might be thinking, I want to take a step forwards, to get involved more in bringing new people in. What advice would you give them, Neil?
Well, I've given people a fantastic idea now. If especially if you're not in this area, at least anyway, no competing with me, please. But no, all joking. So find a niche to work with. Where obviously mine's been the scouts. You could go ahead and promote archery to scout groups. You could get maybe the guides in there as well. Various groups like that would love the opportunity to come and do this kind of thing. Just find something that you think is going to work and go with it. You know, when you're volunteering, you don't have to take on all these roles. I know I do. It's a bad habit I get into. I'll hold my hands up with that one. I do tend to take on too much, but you don't have to be like that. You can be that person that turns up once a week and does a bit of coaching or, gives a bit of advice to people, even if it's just a case of volunteering in your club to be the person that helps tune people's bows. That's not covered in the coaching stuff. You learn that as you go along, and if you're particularly good at something, help other people out with that. But I know my term as an ambassador will come to an end at some point, and more than likely I will probably be asked to be a mentor for the next cohort of ambassadors. We have had a lot of ambassadors on this program compared to the last one. There was only a handful on the last one. I think there's about 50 of us this time. So long as Archery GB see the benefit of this particular program, the next time it comes around, get your name down for it. Speak to Gail or whoever's running it at that point. It might not necessarily be Gail, but Gail's the person who currently runs it. Get onto Gail, say that you're interested. She'll give you the information. There's even, and I'll put the link in the show notes as well. There is a page specifically for what the ambassadors do. again, Max Oakley's all over this page. I did mention, obviously, that Max was there. We've got all our current junior ambassadors. I'm assuming that our adult ambassadors are going to be updated on this page. I've just realised that we're not actually on there, so I will nudge Gail about that as well. But this particular page, it's got all of our young junior ambassadors on there, what club they're at. So you get to go and speak to. I mean, Patience herself is also an AGB ambassador. She's one of the youth ambassadors. Obviously, we mentioned her before, so she would be going out doing all this kind of stuff as well.
And shall we give and also a big shout out to all our ambassadors as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone does as well, and also to any other ambassadors out there. If you want to, share with us what the work that you're looking to do as well, and we can give you a shout out and a big thank you for your work as well.
Yeah, and if you're interested in coming on the show and talking about what you're doing in your area, I'm sure Gail will be able to help facilitate getting us in contact. So give Gail a shout, and we'll see what we can do. Get you on the show.
Yeah, and it'd be really interesting. It'd be really interesting for me to listen to more stories as well, because obviously me and Neil, we talk regularly about things that we've got on the go. So to have more people coming in would be even better as well.
Exactly. Now, I know the program usually runs for 2 years, and with the announcement, I don't know how it's going to actually work at the minute, because we obviously only got announced in December. Whether our tenure is going to be 2 years from that point or from when we initially signed up, because obviously we've still been doing stuff anyway. But even once I become once my tenure comes to an end, I'm not going to stop doing what I have been doing for the last 2 years anyway. At the end of the day, my passion is all about promoting archery, whether I'm an ambassador or not. Just having the title of an ambassador gives me a little bit of weight. So when I'm talking to people in the community, I'm an AGB ambassador, and they're like, "Oh, that sounds really cool." But then, obviously, I can throw my other credentials at them. That I'm a session coach, I'm a judge, I'm a secretary of a club. Ambassador just makes it all look shiny, and it's great to have that title there at the minute. And hopefully, we can do quite a lot in the local community and beyond.
And also, you can say you've done it as well, mate. It's you can't have it taken away that you've gone out there and you do it. You're doing and continue. You've been, even before the like you say, even before you were an ambassador, you've been doing great stuff for archery, and long may it continue as well, mate.
Indeed. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us on this episode of Unstrung Archery. We hope you've enjoyed what I've had to offer today and give you a bit of a glimpse of what I'm going to be getting up to. I'm sure Nye's enjoyed me chewing his ear off for the last 45 minutes.
No, it's been good. It's been good fun, mate. But it's been interesting to hear your plans as well. And I think obviously I can say it from me, and I'm pretty sure I can say it on behalf of the best for this as well. And we'll be keen to celebrate with you the successes that you have in the role.
Indeed. So yeah. Again, best of luck to everybody that's competing in the European Indoor Championships. Again, Evie, Sarah, and Patience, if you've got the facility to do so, obviously consider donating. Please, 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 if you can't donate, at a minimum, share what we're sharing on our pages that's promoting it. It'll really help the girls out. And anybody else that is obviously fundraising for the European Indoor Championships as well, give them some love, share the stuff, donate if you can. Let's get Team Great Britain a really strong representation at the Indoor Championships this year.
Yeah, good luck, ladies. You'll do it. You'll do us proud.
Yeah. So most importantly, stay tuned for more exciting episodes, and until next time, happy shooting.
Yeah, shoot strong and may all your arrows hit the gold.
Before we sign off, we want to hear from you guys, our amazing listeners. If you have any questions, stories, or insights you'd like to share, we'd love to feature your voice on our next episode. Just hit that recording button on your phone or computer and send your voice clip to us. You could be part of the conversation. Plus, we are building a vibrant archery community on our Discord server. It's the perfect place to connect with fellow archers, share your experiences, and stay updated on all things unstrung archery. You'll find the links to both our voice submission platform and our Discord server on our Linktree or in the episode description below. Your voice matters, and we can't wait to have you join the discussion. Until next time, keep those questions coming and stay safe in your archery journey.